Costco A5 Wagyu. I'm talking the 6 to 10 pound shipments, like this Striploin Roast for New York strips and this Coulette Roast for Picanha. What do you actually get? How do they compare to the online description? How do the different cuts compare in taste? I paid for these bulk package out of pocket, so you won't have to commit to a huge expensive roast just to find out. This video is not sponsored and is my most expensive video to date. So likes, subs, comments, any encouragement is much appreciated if you like to see more of these guinea pig videos. This is an unboxing for the Picanha roast, also known as the Coulette, which is the top sirloin cut commonly found in Brazilian rodizos. I received my Striploin roast first and unboxed without filming. Then I was quite impressed with the packaging and figured some of you might want to see how heat-proof the packing is. This comes in a well-sealed styrofoam box. It's been sitting in my living room for about 6 hours. It arrived around noon on a workday and I had video calls throughout the day. I know from the first box that the insulation was very good. I left it alone until after work hours to unbox, and the whole thing stayed rock hard. You'll get thawing instructions that shows the color change from darker to brighter red as the meat warms up. The striploin came with a certificate and my Picanha roast didn't. That said, I wasn't terribly worried that Costco sold me fake stuff. So if they say it's A5, I trust them. This is so tightly packed it's surprisingly hard to get out. But now you know this package can take quite a lot of tossing around in shipping and stays together well. Inside, we have a bag of dry ice that's still in solid form. My last package had just regular ice pack, so I didn't expect to need gloves. Luckily, despite not seeing a warning in time, I didn't get any freeze burn. So I guess if you see a loose plastic bag like this, don't reach in to directly touch the ice. Inside, we have good old regular ice pack. And a whole roast. Absolutely massive and rock hard. I hear myself. I just don't know how else to put it. I mean, look at this. It really is much bigger than I expected. I'm not just saying this so you can type "that's what she said" in the comments. I actually weighed this because it does not feel like 8.7 pounds. Lo and behold, it broke my kitchen scale, which maxed out at 11 pounds. I had to take out my people scale for this. Cleaned thoroughly with sanitizing wipes first so germaphobes need not cringe. This is by no means an accurate measure, but it looks to be about 12 pounds. I checked with a second digital scale, which shows 12.8 pounds. My camera seems to freak out at LCD screen. It actually isn't blinking from my perspective. Solid 12.8 pounds. By the way, this is how much each striploin weighed. For a 6 pound order, I got well over 3.5 pounds on each roast. That's more than 1 pound of Wagyu for free. That's like $100 in freebies. So the bulk shipment definitely came with pleasant surprises. Here's a side-by-side. Striploin on the left. And here's a size reference, next to a 12-ounce can of soda. I thawed this in the fridge for 2 nights. A full 24 hours was apparently not enough time to fully defrost the whole roast. I know you've been waiting to see the actual marbling, so here it is. The center is still very cold, so it's more purple than red compared to the edge. Here's a view from the side so you can see better. The fat cap is surprisingly not thick, so most of the weight is in good meat. I cut mine into smaller portions for different use. The very tip is perfect for Brazilian steak. In fact, if you ever find a Picanha in store, it'll probably look like this shape. Next, I'm cutting off the triangular tip of the sirloin. You can thinly slice these into equal portions and grill them yakiniku style. Now the roughly even mid portion can be cut into similar sized steaks. I like to freeze Wagyu in smaller portions. Each of these portions are about 2 to 3 pounds. You'll get roughly 5 to 6 family meals from one Coulette roast. So while this is expensive, we're looking at about $100 for a pretty satisfying meal for 4 to 6 people. Not terrible compared to eating out if you have meat lover family and friends. For comparison, I'm cooking both the strip and the sirloin teppanyaki style in 3 to 4 ounce portion steaks. Because of the high fat content in Wagyu, 100 grams is considered a good portion, especially for the strip cuts, which has even more marbling than the sirloin. As you can see side by side, even though both are A5, the picanha is slightly but visibly leaner and more red. Now to cook these. I'm just going to sear them on cast iron with coarse sea salt. Sear until you have a crust on both sides. Wagyu does not necessarily have to be cooked medium rare. Because of the maizy marbling, they'll taste buttery soft even if cooked past medium. A good sear is almost more important than getting a perfect internal temperature, so cook to your liking. That said, of course don't cook this like stew meat. Brazilian picanha is almost always served with the fat cap on. If you're unfamiliar with this cut, try it with the cap first. If that's really not your thing, you can trim the fat and render it for Wagyu tallow next time. And don't tell your Brazilian friends about the sacrilege. Get a good sear on the fat side, and you're ready to serve. Teppanyaki is often served in bite-sized cubes, perfect for chopsticks. Feel free to leave yours at bigger slices. Just keep in mind these are very rich, fatty, and buttery, so you might want to take it slow. Side by side, the strip is paler than the sirloin. Sort of expected based on the color difference when they were raw. I wanted to taste test these as objectively as possible, so I'm going to start without the fat cap first for control. It is melt-in-your-mouth buttery. I was worried this would taste like American Wagyu, which is a cross between Angus and Wagyu that tastes more like Angus than Wagyu to me. If you had the same worries, I'm happy to tell you this definitely tasted like purebred A5 Wagyu. Now the strip. Side by side, the strip is even more tender. I don't think this would be as noticeable if I were having them on different days. The sirloin is very tender as well. But if you've never tried Wagyu, the strip is even more distinctively buttery. I like to serve mine with garlic oil, which is just sliced garlic heated with extra virgin olive oil, with optional pinch of black pepper and/or chili pepper. Fry it until garlic is crispy and just start to turn color. Remove from heat right away to prevent burning. Another great dip is soy sauce and wasabi, almost like sashimi but not fishy. You might think it's weird, but it really works. Another classic and absolute must in my book is pasteurized egg yolk. I'll share a follow-up video on a few easy ways to pasteurize eggs at home. Raw eggs are called for in many recipes, from Asian rice dishes to mayo, hollandaise, or Caesar dressing. Home pasteurization is handy if you want to try out any of these recipes without worrying about food safety. I hope this Costco Wagyu review has been helpful to those of you who are on the fence. I think for the quality, the bulk roasts are definitely good values. If you have the freezer space or friends to share the purchase together, the products themselves are well worth the cost. A5 Wagyu doesn't get much cheaper than this, even if you make a trip to Japan. If you've never tried either cut, I would say go for the strip roast for maximum wow factor. If you enjoyed the video comparisons, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. See you next time!